So on page 19, I said, hey, go use trig. Trig is just SOHCAHTOA, you guys. We get to use SOHCAHTOA when we've got right triangles. So could I go find, oh, apparently over here I'm looking for Q. I said, let's go find little q. And if we know SOHCAHTOA, what could we do to find Q? Yeah, so if they gave us 35, I know P is my opposite side. Yeah, because opposite I don't have. I also don't have the adjacent, but do I have the hypotenuse? Okay, so could I do sine? Yeah. I could do sine, but that would get me P. Oh. And for this one, they wanted Q, right? So, yeah, let's go do cosine. The cosine of 35. Cosine of 35 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. What over what? Q. Yes, sir. Why did I use a Q? That's so annoying. Q over 14. How would we solve this one then? Yeah, you guys, we're going to just multiply by that denominator. Go use those calculators. Here's the deal. Here's where things are going to get, dicey if you're borrowing my yellow calculator. One sec. Let me get there. When you guys hit mode, for us, what did we just have right here? What does this say? 35 degrees. Your calculator must be in degrees. If you have your own calculator, go change that mode to degrees. If you're using one of mine, in calculus, we put it in radians. So just be careful. That's going to change your answers a lot. Does yours have that option, Trace, to switch between the two?
I think so. It's just in degrees.
Guys, what do we get when we do 14 cosine of 35? 14 cosine 35, boom, 11 point. Let's just go 11.5. Does that sound good? That's my Q. Now, I did say not using the Pythagorean theorem. We could go use the Pythagorean theorem, but I just wanted us to practice this SOHCAHTOA a little bit more. Now, let's go find P. So, Steph, you had found P for us earlier. What could we do to find the opposite side? Yeah, exactly. She's saying so. The sine of 35 is the opposite over hypotenuse, O over H. In this case, that is P over 14, right? Opposite over hypotenuse? Yeah. And then we can multiply by that 14? What is 14 sine of 35? And I'm good with a tenth, yeah. 14 sine of 35 is 8.0. If it's not labeled, we got to go put it on. If little b is 13, little b is going to always refer to a side, and the big letters refer to angle. So little b is 13, big angle A is 76. Find little angle, little side A. So what I like to do is I'm like, all right, they gave me 76. That makes little a the opposite. That makes 13 the adjacent. So, ka, or toa? Toa. Tangent of 76 equals what over what? Love it. A over 13. We got this, people. Anyone else get 52.1? Love it. What about this next one? If big old B, big B is 26 degrees. Little b, 18. Find side C. Again, I'm a drawer. Boop, that's my opposite side. I like to label things. What are they asking for? Adjacent or hypotenuse? They're asking for the hypotenuse. So, ka, or toa? The sine of 26 equals what over what? Yeah, this one's not quite as straightforward as the last one. Can we still multiply by the denominator? For sure, you guys. You got to do that to get that C out of there. But that leaves me with the C times the sine of 26 equals 18. Then we divide by the sine of 26. Exactly. All that builds up to this stuff. And I said, hey, a regular pentagon. How many sides in a pentagon? 5. Do you remember what the word regular means? All of the blank are equal sides, and therefore all of the angles are also equal. So regular just means, oh, in this pentagon, you don't have to draw this, but all of the sides are going to be the same. And you don't have to label that. But if you want to, you're welcome to. Okay. Then it said the diameter of this circle, like this diameter, is 8.34. Do you agree 8.34 divided by 2 gives me this cute little radius of 4.17? You guys down with that? But I'm just saying, like, I just put that in there, but this could have been 8.34, that whole diameter. Okay, the apothem, what the heck is an apothem? It says it's measured from a line segment from the center of the polygon, so here's where the center is, and then to the midpoint of one of its sides. So my apothem, I'm going to put it in green. Here is my apothem, you guys. The apothem goes from the center to the midpoint of one of the sides. So this apothem, cut this little side in half. Boop, boop. That's my apothem. Find the apothem of the pentagon. Wow. Find just this little a. This is a little alpha, which we might be getting confused with, like, what's what. Little alpha is referring to that angle. Apothem is referring to this green leg. Sound good? Okay. We got to go find a. Well, you guys don't forget, this is just a cute little right triangle. These are just little right triangles. Could we find what this angle is here if it's inscribed in a circle? How many degrees are in a circle? 360. How many of these cute triangles, let me go ahead and draw it. How many of these purple triangles could we fit in a pentagon, would you say? 5 of them. So could we figure out what this big angle is in each of these pentagons? Yeah. How would we do that? 360 divided by 5 would get me that big one. What's 360 divided by 5? 72. You guys, this is 72. This is 72. This is 72. What would I do to get alpha, though? Because that's right here. Divide that by 2. So 72 divided by 2 gets me 36. Bandy, what if you're like, I kind of saw, you're like, if I already am going to divide that guy in half again, could I just do 360 divided by 10 to get that little guy? Could we do that? Yeah. We could. 360 divided by 10 would get me that 36. So I'm like a step person. I would have done divided by 2 again. But if Bandy's like, oh, I would have just seen in a pentagon, we got 5 big triangles. So that means we got 10 of the half triangles. I would have just divided by 10 right off the bat. And I'm good with that. Sound good? People, that gets me this little angle is 36. So I think off to the side, we should redraw what we got. You're like, okay, that gives me a right triangle. Here's my apothem that I'm looking for still. And this little angle is 36. And they also told us this hypotenuse is 4.17. Bless you. Because my diameter was 8.34. Can we go find what that apothem is now? Yeah. Apothem. SOHCAHTOA or TOA? Yeah. It's going to be cosine because we don't know what the opposite is. We want the adjacent, which is the apothem. This guy's the adjacent. So we're going to go cosine of my angle equals my adjacent, which I don't know what that is. I'm going to put it as A over my hypotenuse. What's 4.17 times the cosine of 36? 3.4-ish. Apothem, whoops. It says a regular hexagon. Ooh, I'm going to teach you how to draw this. This is good. Is inscribed in a circle. Here's what I would do first. Let's see how good your circle skills are. If I were you, I'd draw a nice big circle over there. If we're inscribing a hexagon, here's my biggest piece of advice. I'm going to show you how to do it so well. Ready, people? A hexagon has how many sides? 6. If I were you, I would go, there's going to be a vertex at the top, and let's split it right in half. A vertex at the bottom. Then on the side, you've got to cut your sides in thirds. So I'm going to go there and there. And then here and here. Cut it into thirds. Then you're going to just connect your dots with nice straight lines. And I'd say you're going to have a pretty good hexagon. And if it's not great, don't worry about it. I don't care. Oh no, Bandy. First question, it says, ooh, we got a hexagon. The diameter is 6.4. What do we do with that? My diameter is 6.4. Find the radius. What's half of 6.4? 3.2. You guys, I'm going to choose to do, everybody go label the center of your hexagon. Center is important. If my diameter is 6.4, could I say, oh, then just this radius would be 3.2? You could draw your triangle in any spot of your hexagon. I don't care. That's just where I chose to do it. It says, what is the length of the apothem? You guys, the apothem splits the leg in half. So this blue is my apothem. That's the first question they asked. How am I going to find that angle? Bandy, using your shortcut. Yep. How many big triangles would a hexagon have? Hex. 6. Pentagon has 5. So how many little triangles would it have?
12.
Nice. So what can we do with our 360? Boom. 36 divided by 12? My little angle is 30. Then you go straight up SOHCAHTOA, people. SOHCAH or TOA to find that apothem. Yes, cosine of 30 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Multiply both sides by 3.2. .8-ish. Okay, here's what I need everyone to do. Go get that value in your calculator so that we can use that for the rest of our problem. It's really important. If we type in 2.8, our estimations are all going to be off. We don't even have to stow it. I'll show you how to use it. So we found our apothem. Find the length of a side of the hexagon. You guys, they want this red side or this red side or this red side. Do you agree that red side, that this little part is half of it? Okay, so could we go find this little leg, which is the opposite, and then double it? Word. How are we going to find opposite? SOHCAH or TOA? Yeah, the sine of 30 equal. In a hexagon, it does wind up being an equilateral. Yep. But we don't know what that is. Oh, yeah, we got the 3.2. Good call. It's going to work out that way. Opposite over hypotenuse. So we're going to go 3.2 times the sine of 30. And we get 1.6. The opposite side was 1.6. They said find the side length of the hexagon. That was just this little guy. What do we need to do to that? Double it. And we get? How did you know it was going to be an equilateral triangle? Well, and if this is 30, double it, that'd be 60.
That's what I did.
Yeah, exactly. So all of my angles would be 60. Okay. If this little leggy now is 3.2, how would I find the perimeter? Add those. Yeah, exactly. 3.2 times 6. 19.2, is that what you got? Okay, this is where we got to put it on. This is where it gets a little funky, people. A little funky. The area. Oh, actually, I don't even care about this. Well, I guess I'll show it to you. I want to not worry about these words. Then I'll show you about these words. I want to find the area of this hexagon, which is not like an area formula that you know from geometry. But all you can think about is, oh, hey, Bandy, how many of these little triangles did we have? 12 of them. Do we know the area of one triangle? How to find the area of a triangle? 1/2 base times height. So you guys, we could say area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Couple things we could think about. Bandy, you said we've got 12 of my little triangles. Do you agree the little triangle's base we found to be 1.6 and its height, the apothem, was 2.8? We could have 12 of those. Or, Bandy, could we have 6 of these triangles with a base of 3.2 and a height of the apothem?
Yes.
We could do it either way. It doesn't bother me. Would you rather do 6 big triangles or 12 littles? I don't care. 6 big, let's do it. All right, so if we're doing 6 big, you're saying 1/2. What is my base of the big black triangle here? 3.2. What was the height? 2.77 or 2.8, you can totally write 2.8 because I don't like writing a lot of decimals. You cannot type 2.8. You cannot type 2.77. Everybody's going to go type 0.5 times 3.2 times up arrow, up arrow, up arrow to get that exact apothem of 2.7712812921, enter. And then did you get 4.43?
Yes.
Awesome. And area is always square units, so I'm just going to put a little U with a squared. Oopsies. Oopsies. That's just one triangle. How many of those big triangles do we have? 6 of them. My bad, my bad, my bad. So then we're going to go take that answer that we had right here, 4.43 times 6. Do we get 26.6? Good job, guys. Truck-mounted ladder used by the Dallas Fire Department. Oh, this is kind of funky to put these words into a picture if you ask me. 108 feet long is the longest truck. The truck is 108 feet long. Consists of 4 different sections of it. An aerial expert for the department indicates that the optimum operating angle for the ladder is 60 degrees. Do you agree if a fire department came here and the truck was all the way at the scoreboard, that's going to make a pretty long ladder and it's going to be pretty flat to get to like our room right here, right, if we needed it. So do we also want the ladder to be flat against our building? No. Like it's pretty hard to climb a vertical ladder, right? But they're saying about 60 degrees is the optimal angle to get someone up here quickly and not waste as much time or resources, I'd say. So it says, draw a diagram real fast. The firefighters need to reach the roof of an 84-foot burning building. So the building is 84 feet tall. The optimal angle is 60 degrees. So I'd say that this is 60 degrees down here. Oh, and assume the ladder is mounted 8 feet above the ground. Oopsies. Oopsies. If the ladder's... Wouldn't we want to take it away, actually? Wouldn't we want to take 8 away from that because the ladder's starting up that much higher? So I think that we could make that, instead of 84, what could we make that? 76? So I'm going to make that a 76. It says, how far from the base of the building should the base of the ladder be placed to achieve that 60-degree angle? What are we looking for here? No, it says how far from the building. Agreed. It should be this adjacent side. It should be down here. Right? Does that make sense? How far from the building? So, ka, or toa? Yeah, the tangent. Tangent of 60 is the opposite over the adjacent. When I multiply by x, I'd get x times the tangent of 60. .9 feet. I'm down with that. And then if it says how far should the ladder be extended, which side of my triangle am I looking for? Hypotenuse. I'm looking for this hypotenuse. I'm just going to label it Y. So, ka, or toa? Yeah, the so. Sine of my angle. What's up, Labeo? It's a lot of ladder, but I guess if we're trying to get up 76 feet, that's really high. 87.8.